Let's start this out. Listen. We got to discuss something involving New York City Mayor Adams. This is some serious stuff right now, man. Listen, Eric Adams is in a world of trouble, and we got to document what's going on right now. He has been indicted. This is crazy. They just swooped in on him. We're going to break down on what's happening with him. A lot of people may know Mr. Mayor Adams in the sports world. He had a situation going on with Kyrie when Kyrie was a member of the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to get into it. Make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. You already know what it is. It's Flight Sports TV. Mayor Adams is in a world of trouble, I repeat. Let's break it down. Eric Adams has been indicted, by a grand jury on connections to a probe. It says, as the defiant mayor claimed, he was being prosecuted for speaking out. Pardon me. They basically say he was prosecuted for a situation going on with the migrants. This is a crazy situation. I know New York City is in a frenzy right now. If you in New York City, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're going to be documenting this. Get in the comment section. Let's get interactive. Let me know what's going on in the climate right now in New York City as this happens. We all know there's a lot going on with Diddy. It's crazy. We all know the connections that there is. Pardon me, so let's see what happens if Mayor Adams could get up out this jam that he's in. I want to read some quotes. It says, I always knew that if I stood my ground for New Yorkers, that I would be a target, and a target I became. This is what Mayor Adams said in a statement. He says, if I'm charged, I am innocent, and I will fight this with every ounce of strength and spirit. So this is what Mayor Adams came out and said. A lot of people, he's been a polarizing figure in New York City. Obviously you got people who love him, people who, this, that, and the third. Nobody's gonna, like I said, I ain't gonna get too political. But like I said, nobody's gonna like this one, that one. Everybody's gonna have different areas with their life. But bottom line is he is the mayor of New York City. That's point blank, period. And this is a bad look. This guy has to answer for some of this stuff that's going on. This is a terrible situation, especially with an election year, coming up. This is wild that all of this stuff is happening. And this is a terrible look, I repeat, for New York City. This is the last thing that we needed. You already got the Diddy situation with all of the stuff and the remnants that's in there, the backstories, the ins, the outs. The last thing that we need, is a situation now with the mayor. I want to get into the Kyrie situation. Obviously, during COVID, with the Brooklyn Nets, it was a lot of situations going on. Kyrie basically was banned. We all know, basically, he couldn't come into buildings. He couldn't do nothing with the team unless he complied with, things that they wanted him to do. And Kyrie, due to he didn't put you heard what he said. He was pushing a religious waiver. There was a lot of different things that he was doing, to try to navigate himself out the jam that he was placed in. And obviously, Mayor Adams, and Kyrie, they bumped heads. I don't know if Kyrie wanted a solid done. I don't know what Kyrie was trying to impact change. That's why he didn't step on the basketball floor. So I got to give Kyrie props for trying to take a stand. You understand? I give props to anybody who could take a stand, because that's a tough thing to do, especially in the world that we live in today, where, like I said, everybody is trying to, get the quick fix and this, that, and the third, so you hardly see people really getting it from the ground up. And Kyrie is one of those guys. You see Kyrie start to, He's just changing his whole fortune. It's wild how all of this is happening right now. Because now you see Kyrie, he was just in the NBA Finals. It's like he's looking like he's just getting his career back underneath him. So I definitely want to applaud Kyrie Irving, for all the things that he's done to get out of the bad criticism that people was placing on him. We got to remember, Kyrie was just getting dragged through the mud. When Kyrie was traded from the Brooklyn Nets, man, Adams, was all over that. You understand? Man, Adams, he had a chuckle about it. He was happy that Kyrie was no longer his problem anymore. He was up in Dallas. He didn't have to deal with Kyrie Irving. The last thing you need is an athlete, really pushing the line in New York City. When athletes push the line in other cities, it makes noise, but it's something when it happens in New York City, it's just a whole nother situation. But bottom line is we don't know what's gonna happen right now with Mr. Man Adams, but this is a bad look, man. I want to get in the comment section, like I said. Let me know, what do you think is going to be the end all be all in this situation. Um, you know, um, Man, Adams was doing a lot of different things that a lot of people may have not applauded. You got Man Adams hooking up with the rappers, hooking up with the entertainers, and just his bravado, on how he spoke, but he did do a lot of good things, in New York City. He did a lot of things where the police wasn't harassing, basically young adults, teenagers in the inner city. And I think that's something that needs to be applauded. He's passed some laws, back in the days where, it was a lot of stop and frisk going on in New York City. The laws the things that he was pushing, was going to eliminate that tenfold, especially if you was, just an honest person, just doing whatever you was doing. He legalized a lot of different things, so I mean, it's just crazy. But like I said, let's get in the comment section, man. This is crazy, man. I just don't like how everything is just connecting, with all of these people, because it's like it all goes back to New York, man. That's all I can say, man. I don't like the fact that all roads lead back to New York City, so we gotta do something. I don't know if 50, we gotta get New York City back in a better light. I hope, some people come together and do something special for New York City, because all of this stuff going on right now, this got to start to air itself out. I'm tired of reporting on negative stuff involving New York, but I thought this was paramount to speak on because the connection with Kyrie Irving, and get in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports if you want more news, updates, and more on this situation involving Mr. Eric Adams. Peace and love. It's Flight Sports.